As you see, Asylum finishes his Madreds and his Berserker Greaves, and then goes into Sheen directly.
Yeah.
Sheen is crucial. Now you're going to see his damage output increase tenfold. It's going to go up.
Oh yeah, it's Sheen is such, like we were talking about earlier, such a great item. There's not too much. Oh, we see Teemo. We see the bottom lane coming in here. They're going to try and get a kill on this Lily here. Oh, and they just look at her. But
that's alright, but we're going to pick, secure a kill here.
On the Master Yi,
It's a great move by Zilean, speeding up Skarner. Skarner needs that speed boost.
Yeah, well, he's your initiator on the team, so
either
you or Kennen. But Kennen already has a speed boost, so I guess it was a good move to put that on the Skarner.
Yeah, for sure. And they secure a kill and just slowly increasing their leads. Like we talked about in past episodes, take your victories for what they are. You don't want to overextend. You don't want to not be too aggressive. Sometimes, you want to just slowly build those victories and secure that victory in the end. Because if let's say if you have, you're pushing a tower and then four of them are up and you're all pretty low, but you just secured a kill.
Yeah.
Don't be over confident in your ability to stay alive and finish that tower. Just if you can't, if you're worried about being ganked, let's say if they're all missing on the map, back up and take those victories for what they are. And they secured a kill, and they all went back to the lanes, and Skarner went back to his jungle.
Well, you never want to blow your lead. At this stage of the game, you're up by 3 kills. It's not a lot, but if you don't basically extend that lead or lose that lead, you could end up losing the game. And
this is huge here. So,
oh yeah.
Urgot lands his ultimate, keeps him in the fight, but the good thing now is that Skarner has his ultimate up. Oh, he doesn't grab it though.
Well, you see that Wukong there made the fatal mistake of blowing his decoy really early.
Yep.
So he went into the grass, blew his decoy. There's nowhere else really that
the thing is that he should have blown his decoy at the edge of the grass, or he could have waited, honestly, because...
Well, he could have tried to juke, I guess, I suppose, but I mean, right there, he could have used his... there's nowhere else for you to predict where Wukong's
basically, he should have watched our episode on Wukong last 2 weeks ago, because we obviously know what we're talking about when we're talking about Wukong.
Yeah, no, definitely.
We do have Garrett X playing Wukong, so if he happened to watch our episode, he would have known what to do in in that kind of situation. And of course, I'm just bugging the guy, and sometimes it happens.
Well, players make mistakes, and that's inevitable. You can't always expect to play a perfect game. You just have to expect to play as best as you can. And then when you do make mistakes, that makes that you're trying to make up for those. So you can see here that we got some diving going on here with the Master Yi and Alistar,
which is a huge mistake though. Sometimes being yourself. See, once again, I think he's popping his ultimates a little too early.
Yeah.
He should honestly just wait, because he knows Master Yi is able to.
I think they could have picked up a double kill there, definitely.
For sure.
Or if he would have even poached that Master Yi and brought him closer to the Urgot, I think
pull him away from his escape route. You know what I mean? You want to always. You pull that ultimate to where you want it to go. You have a few seconds, and
we're going to see maybe a possible dive here.
No. We'll take tower down, and now they're forced to push lane, and he's forced to retreat. So, you really want to time your ultimate, especially with your slow. It's good that he slowed him first, but you want to be able to pump off a few attacks before you have to pop your ultimate, because you do have a small range on it. So if someone tries to run away from you just out of the range, then pop it and pull them back in, and it allows you to get more damage in, basically, because now when you're popping your ultimate, you're doing just the ultimate damage. You're not actually getting ultimate. You're not getting attacks in. You're not getting your slashes in. So I really think you saving your ultimate for a crucial time or initiating. It all depends on who's around you too.
Well, I think what you really want to do is you want to capitalize on the ability that you can drag that hero wherever you want. So you can basically put that. We talk about positioning. Positioning is always huge in any small skirmish or team fight, or even just in the lane. You always want to be aware of your positioning, because if you're caught in a bad position, you can really pay for it. And I think what's the nice thing about Skarner is he has the ability to basically put you in a bad position, and that's what makes him such a unique hero and make him so good, is that you can basically be in a good position, and all of a sudden Skarner pulls you away, and now you're in an incredibly bad situation, and you need to find a way to get out of that. And if you don't have your flash up, you could be in some real trouble.
Yeah, they're almost kind of similar, Urgot and Skarner, because they're able to control. Suppress an enemy hero and then swap locations.
Yeah.
Or in this case, Skarner can pull someone away or pull someone into battle. So it's kind of it's kind of nice. It's really good heroes, good lineup here, good stuns.
So
it's all about team comp too.
Exactly. They're using that suppression. They're keeping him back.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just so crucial, and then we're going to get that slow. That slow is so huge, and of course, we have Skarner. He's tanky already. He uses his shield. He can tank those tower hits, 4 or 5 tower hits for his teammates, and secure those kills and make sure that they're picked
Totally, and knowing that Zilean's right there and his ultimate's up, even if you're going for the craziest dive, you're able to, like, here's a crazy dive.
Yeah.
But does pick up the kill,
So, like I said, I was talking about before, if you're going to dive, you better make sure that you're picking up that
totally.
kill. Otherwise, you're just going to look like you got, pie on your face.
That's what we call it now.
Yeah, we're going to call it pie on your face.
You got a pie on the face.
Yeah, pie on the face.
So, the enemy team has a Skarner as well, and he's been pretty much stuck to his lane this entire game. You don't see him roaming too much because he's laning. And we're going to show you a little lane phase in a bit here, and it's kind of the same deal. Like, jungle is just such an amazing spot for Skarner. He's able to freely roam. He can suppress people, pull people where he wants, save and save his teammates. And when you're in a lane, you're so far down from the battle. When you're in the jungle, you can be anywhere in the map at any time. And
definitely, yeah. And that's what warding is huge.
Warding is
huge. You can see here that this Skarner here, he's doing a good job. He always has a ward in his bag. They're really not that expensive. When it starts to get into the mid game to late game, level 9, keep a ward in your bag. You never know.
One ward even if you have to.
You never know when you might need to keep it. See, that Skarner did a great job. Pulled that Zilean away. He's going to pull him away from that and possibly secure a kill here.
Or in this case, he did make Zilean pop his ultimate, but his teammates fell back and he was just there not paying attention.
Left him out to dry,
and they left him out. I'm sure that could have turned out completely different if they just all stuck together. Who knows?
Well, I think that's
one of the things that's
unfortunate in this game is that as opposed to like a game like Han where they have a built-in voice communication, you're not always going to know what your teammates are doing. So you're not always going to know that your Skarner has his flash up, or and he's going to go and dive for that kill. So I think that's one of the things that where the communication factor, I guess the disjoint happens.
Totally, and the dragon is warded by the enemy team. Like it was obvious because Kennen was in the grass, spotted the ward get put down, but he knows that. I think one or two of them are down already. One's down.
One's down.
Messi had to go back and heal. So that was a perfect time to take it. And even if Alistar tried to go in and start a fight, Alistar's not the one who's going to be able to handle the fight against the Skarner one-on-one because they both the heal, but Skarner can just keep that damage up constantly.
Definitely. Well, we can see right there, that team wasn't greedy at all. They had a 9-6 lead at one point, and they just kept building on that lead. Making sure that they're taking calculated risks where they're not putting themselves in bad positions. And it paid off. And all of a sudden, you see the score end at 16-7. So 16-7 is a lot worse score than 9-6. So, like I said, you always want to be building on that lead.
Totally. And so our next footage here that we're going to show you guys is of the laning phase, and we purposely did a dual lane. It was a normal game, so it happened to work out that it's a Skarner versus Skarner, but and also a Brand versus Brand in the middle.
Brand versus Brand. You gotta love those normal mirror matches.
Yeah, normal mirror matches, which can actually be pretty hard sometimes because These games, I'm not a big fan of mirror matches. They're just sometimes really.
Well, I gotta say, I might have some bad luck. It might be superstition. I don't know, but it always seems that whatever hero I'm playing, there's always one on the other team, and that can always be frustrating. I think.
Yeah, but probably usually good though, because most times we can handle ourselves pretty good. Definitely. So right here you see.
So we fast forward just to give you a little bit. We skipped
level 4 or 5 right now, range 7 minutes in. We missed a couple opening kills at the start there. The score is 1-3, so they are a little down here. But it's early. You don't, even though you have that early game disadvantage, you don't want to let it build. So you just got to play safe,
you still come back,
play it smart.
I honestly think that whenever it's between less than 5 kills, it's anyone's game at that point.
It's all about then again it can also be on the farming too. If they're farming a lot better than you, then if they have dragons, if they take it.
Well, like I said, it's all situational. You get a good positioning in one team fight, and all of a sudden, you make up those 5 kills. So
totally,
it's definitely that's what makes League of Legends, I guess, what's so great. It can change very drastically.
Yeah, and I want to mention, if you are behind in a game before the action starts here, before we start talking about Skarner here, this is basic laning phase. This is trying to last hit and do his best. But if you're down in a game and you have the disadvantage, use wards to gain that advantage back. Make sure you have vision. If it's late game, make sure you have vision on Baron. Make sure you have vision on Dragon early mid game, even late game too. You just don't want them taking the Dragon.
Not even just Dragon in the jungle. I think
totally your blue buff, your red buff.
Blue buff, yeah. because the blue buff and the red buffs are always going to be high contested objects, and if you have wards on that, and you can see that one character is just going off on his own to get that. You can either go for an easy steal,
build that game back up again,
or even just make them go and leave, because that's a lot of precious time that you're going to make one hero waste.
Yeah.
So if he's sitting there for basically 60 seconds trying to get that red buff, and you come in there and he's pretty low and you chase him off, well, now he's got to go back and heal. He's either going to decide if he's going to come back for that red buff again, but maybe not because he thinks it's warded. But it's one of those things. I think that if you ward the opponent's jungle, it can definitely increase those leads or even build up from a deficit.
No, for sure. And one thing I like about how Asylum plays is that he does spend the money in wards, and he had 2. He popped one in the grass, and now he's the second one, so he doesn't have to go back.
We saw right there, just a minute ago, that Ashe was sitting in that top grass doing absolutely nothing, for a decent amount of time. And
thinking that he was invisible, too.
If you're ever wasting that kind of time, it can definitely come back and hurt you.
Yeah, totally. So he's just basic lane phase, and this is why it's really easy to get harassed as Skarner, and this is why we're not a big fan of playing Skarner in the lane. It's still effective.
He's a melee character, man. So he's always got to be up. He's always got to be up in front of the creeps.
Yeah, totally. And he does have range, but it's not strong enough to, unless the creeps are really low, then he can finish him off. But as you see here,
you can see he's going to drag him back into that Ashe.
Gets gold card off. No, he doesn't. And so they got the kill on him. And unfortunately, the arrow was up, and he does die. I think if the arrow was down, he would have been able to get out. But he pops Ignite on Ashe and secures the kill.
Yeah, like I said, that's what we can see right there. He put that TF, what was a safe position, into a very, very, very bad position that you never want to be in.
That ultimate is awesome, and if you're playing as Skarner, you got to be prepared for that flash in and ulti. Yep. And that's what they're gonna do. They're not gonna waste time and dropping a slash first. They're going to jump in and ulti you. And just like any kind of initiating character that has a stun or a mobilize, for example, like when we showed you Annie last week, you flash in and stun. Like, it's just, you're so quick, you have no time to react. And like with Skarner here, you flash in and pop their ulti on them. And
I think when you have really strong initiating characters like that, it makes it very crucial that you are getting those initiations off. You have the Ashes, you have the Amumus. You got to make sure that you're landing those arrows, because if you're not landing those and you're using them on a reactionary basis, I don't think that you're using them to their full effectiveness.
In that case, he had his arrow. That Ashe could probably use it sooner, and he secured a double kill and kept him alive. But he was really close into the fight, didn't use it soon enough.
Well, we don't know what their cooldowns are like. It could have been down as well. So it's one of those things that you're not too always sure on. But like
it was early game. It definitely was up. But as you see here, Mumu's coming in for the gank. So Skarner pushes up ahead. This is good because if anyone tries to pass him, he's gonna pop his slash and start to slow.
We see a great move right there made by Twisted Fate. Now with that nerf to his ultimate, it does cripple him a little bit as far as the ganks go and being a strong mid carry. But right there, you can see it's like a free clairvoyance.
Clairvoyance all over the map, and it allows Amumu to land his banish toss.
Yeah.
Allows Skarner to get in front.
So it takes out the guesswork.
Perfect.
He comes in there. He's going to land that banish toss now. They are in the bushes.
Yeah.
And because they're taking the bushes, they're taking the long way.
Yeah. So you see here. The Trundles, fighting here, dropped his pillar, but I don't know why he would initiate so close to the entire team. He is able to get away, and it's okay. No harm done.
I don't think he is going to get away. If you look at the mini map here,
Mumu's still chasing. I don't know what's going to happen. Brand's coming down. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
that's a good move on their part, on the Brand and the Mumu. You never want to chase too hard. It's always one of those things where you can always get really caught, because if you're ever chasing someone, you can guarantee that at least if you're playing against decent players, their team is going to go and help them. They're not going to just leave them out to dry. So
for sure.
You can always expect that at least one other person is going to be helping that person out. And if you're not going to secure that kill very quickly, you can start looking at some very bad odds.
Totally, and and in this case, they had a successful gank on bottom.
Well, look at that. They had a great double kill.
So this game was down. I want to mention this game was 1-3. They were down 1 kill to 3 kills, and they're working this back up. Now it's 5-6.
Yeah. Well, they were at 3-6.
3-6, yeah, exactly. But now they've even worked it up further, and now they're 5-6, and now they pick up another kill here.
Yeah,
now it's tied up, and they had a weak early start from an early on gank, but. Now it's an even game.
Yeah.
And
you can see how aggressive that Ashe was playing. That Ashe and Skarner combo were playing super aggressive. They were pushing themselves up, putting themselves in really bad positions, and that Mumu did a great job, recognized that, and came in for those ganks and allowed his team to capitalize and then even up the game.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes playing with 80 bottom and in this case, it is Skarner and
Oh, Mubu's going to miss his Banish toss there.
Yeah, misses Banish toss. But, the
gonna
gold card keeps him alive, and, it's doing a great job on TF.
Oh, and there we can see
Skarner. And there's P. That's the ultimate we're talking about. Overtime.
In a bad spot.
Yep, totally. And holds him in that fight. Allows for the auto attack to actually get the kill. But Brandt's here